Peter Hasson now. He's the Washington Free Beacon editor. Peter, Donald Trump's going to be speaking soon at NATO, but we've heard from him earlier today, and we also heard from the NATO Secretary-General Mark Rutte, and he's been full of praise for the president. He wrote a text to President Trump saying, "Donald, you have driven us to a really, really important moment for America and Europe and the world. You will achieve something no American president in decades could get done." This is all very different, Peter, to the sort of atmosphere that greeted Donald Trump during his first term, when he really didn't get a warm reception at NATO.
Yeah, I think that goes to one of the clear differences between Trump's first term and his second term is that Trump's first term was treated as a joke or an aberration by elites, not just in the U.S. but all over the world, as something that they shouldn't have to take seriously. Whereas now in Donald Trump's second term, it's very clear that he's here to stay. The MAGA movement is here to stay, and it's something to be taken seriously. And he is someone who keeps tabs on how people treat him and how people treat the country. And so I think he expects a certain amount of respect from world leaders. I think they're finally starting to catch on.
Yes, I think that's something our Prime Minister has found out the hard way. He and some of his senior ministers have said some uncomplimentary things about the President in the past. And guess what? Our Prime Minister hasn't been able to secure a one-on-one meeting with the President thus far. So this is, I think, something to remember, that he has a very long memory. Now, here is praise for the President from an unlikely source, former Biden National Security Council coordinator for the Middle East, Brett McGurk. He had this to say on CNN.
Look, bottom line, this is about the best place we can be. I give extremely high marks to this national security team and President Trump for managing this crisis and given where we are. But now let's follow through. There's a chance for diplomacy here.
And Peter, while there are Democrats who are pushing to impeach Donald Trump for these strikes against Iran's nuclear sites, there were 128 Democrats which joined the Republicans to block a bid to impeach the president. We only had 79 Democrats voting to proceed with an impeachment vote. What does that tell you, Peter?
Well, that tells me that that the Democratic leadership is fully aware of how out of touch the progressive base has gotten with the rest of the country. I mean, to even float an impeachment for that is wildly out of bounds. When you have Nancy Pelosi saying it's not something to be taken seriously, and Nancy Pelosi is the last person that anybody is going to accuse of being too soft on Trump. When you have her saying that this is a step too far, it really tells you all you need to know. But at the same time, that is kind of a sign of where their party is going in the long term, is the AOC wing of the party. And I think we saw that with Zohran Mamdani's win in the primary last night. It's as clear of a sign as it is that, as out of step as the progressive wing may be, that is the direction that the party's voters want them to go with.
Peter Hasson, thank you so much for your time.